Live. You're listening to Live with Men, the podcast.
This is Men, the podcast. The last episode of 2021, man.
Mm-hmm. It's been a long year.
It's been a long year, man. It's been a hell of a year. Yeah? It's been a hell of a year. But we're still here, Nadia.
We're alive.
We are alive and kicking. Tunamshukuru Mungu kwa hilo. Mimi naitwa Michael Baruti. Nadia, how are you?
I'm good.
You're right.
I'm Gucci.
I was this. one takeaway this year is mapenzi yako kwa hilo neno Gucci. Yanakuwa tu. And right now mwenyewe nime accept kwamba it's part of you. Yeah.
If you can't change it, just accept.
If you can, the whole concept, if you can beat them, join them. Yeah. So Nadia is a resident psychologist. Unaweza kumpata kupitia Mind Matters TZ on Twitter, Mind Matters TZ on Instagram, but also there's a link kwenye bio yake which will take you directly kwenda kwenye the website, and then pale utatafuta njia za kuweza kuwasiliana naye kama unataka kuongea naye na kama unataka kuwasiliana naye zaidi. Lakini for sisi tucheke kwenye @men_the_podcast on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. Lakini pia what the hell is wrong with me? Lakini pia unaweza kuvisit our website www.menthepodcast.com. You can actually listen to all of our episodes over there, man. So vitu vingi sana vinakuja kupitia website, so stay tuned na ujiandae kwa hilo. This is 2021 Unfiltered.
Yes.
Yeah, and you gotta admit, man, sorry. Phone wasn't on silent, but now it is. Like you said, it's unfiltered. So, it's been a hell of a year, man.
Yeah.
It's been a hell of a year.
How many episodes did we record this year? Did we record episode ngapi?
This is our 50th episode.
In this year?
No. So our first episode this year came around 19th Feb 2021. So that was the episode number 29.
29.
Yeah. Episode number 29. And now this is our 50th episode. So this year we recorded
21 episodes this year.
Yes. Kudos to us.
Shout out to all our guests. We love you.
Yes, our listeners.
We appreciate you. And our listeners, we love you even more.
Yeah.
And for everyone who is actually implementing, taking on, the little nuggets of wisdom that we're getting from our guests, from the episodes, we hope that you're making really great use of all the information. Yeah,
we hope so too. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing though. So since this is 2021 Unfiltered, we thought it would only be great if we get to talk about us a little bit. Yeah, and how this year has been. So I'm gonna go ask you first. How has this year been for you?
This year has been, so far, I think the most challenging year for me personally, as a human being. I can't wait for it to end. I am praying that next year, 2022, I'll be more evolved on a personal level. Mungu kama ananisikiliza, I have all the lessons that I need on a personal level. I've gotten them.
You've been humbled.
I've been humbled properly.
You want to talk about it a little bit more. Like what has been the most, at least on a personal level, and then you can only share what you want to share, as always. At least on a personal level, what has been the most challenging thing for you? And where did it take you? Where did it take your mental health?
So I've had a couple of retreats that I've had to take just to check in with myself, na reflect. I've done a lot of reading, seen my therapist more than I should.
Wow.
But it's been, it's kama mwaka huu basically, kama Mungu akachukua ile spotlight. Akasema we Nadia, you think that you know things and you know yourself. And I do. Na kuna vitu ambavyo nilikuwa nimevikubali about myself that I think part of my ego was I'm okay with myself. Everyone around me needs to adjust to me as a person. If I appear cold, then that is your perception of me. Throughout these years, that's how I've been moving. Like, you know what? I cannot change how you see me. But this year, I think the spotlight was really, it was shone on me, and I got to understand. And my whole career, my whole life is about empathy. Like, I empathize with people. But when it comes to myself, I rarely, on a personal level, it's hard for me to empathize because now I have to put myself in your shoes to see how you see me in a bad light, which is not pleasant.
Nobody likes that.
Nobody. So this year, I've done a lot of that. I've taken a lot of feedback, complaints, nyingi.
About you.
About me.
Jesus.
As a human being. And it's been hard. It's been hard to swallow that. In my head, I was thinking, I'm a decent, good human being. Kumbe, some people don't think the same. Yeah. So it's been tough, and it's hit me, my mental health, because now it's shaken my whole philosophy of myself. Like, okay, I preach empathy. Like, we need to empathize with one another, get to understand one another. Like, when it came to myself and my characteristics, ambazo I thought were okay. At least for me, they were fine. They were not the best for everyone else. I'm not gonna mention anyone's names because just for their their privacy. Lakini, yeah, I took a cold, hard look at myself and said, wow, Nadia,
I can be toxic.
You are toxic. You're the drama. You're the villain in someone else's story. That's what I had to accept. Mwaka huu ni kwamba I thought I was the good character in this movie, but sometimes I can be the villain and I can hurt people. And my whole life is dedicated to helping people and healing people. So it's been hard to accept kwamba mimi, I'm the cause of pain.
Yeah, you can be part of the
for
problem.
some people.
Yeah.
I am the problem in some people's lives, and that's been tough.
But I think realizing that is huge.
Yeah.
Whether kwa kuambiwa au kwa kugundua mwenyewe. Wakati unaongea nilikuwa nafikiria ni kama unafanya performance review vile.
Yes.
And then you think you're good na kile kichwa kiko vizuri alafu bosi wako anakuambia, let's talk. This is what your colleagues think about you.
Exactly.
And then all the time umekaa unafikiria unajua kama mimi I'm good na vitu kama hivyo, so inakupa that reality check kusema kama okay, maybe I'm not perfect after all. Nah. Has that changed how you view life from there? How you view life, your goals, what you want to do next, and basically, are we explaining new year, new Nadia, based on experience this year?
Well, I don't think new Nadia, but I think more sensible and empathetic toward inside my work and outside of it. Kuna watu, and when I speak of this year being tough, it's the closest people to my heart are the ones that I hurt the most. So that's like the crappiest feeling to realize kwamba I treat all the strangers and all the people who I don't know or all the people that I'm acquainted with extremely well, with all the objectivity and all the empathy. Lakini when it comes to the people that are like extremely close to me, that care deeply, that I love, etc., I can take them for granted. That's been tough to realize, to swallow that pill. That's been a hard pill. Pia, it's made me realize kwamba I expected them to just be present. Yeah. I expected unconditional love. And
is there such a thing?
There is such a thing.
You believe?
I
now?
I pray. I pray
right
that
now,
there is.
After what you've been through, you believe it exists?
I believe it exists
Yeah.
in practice. So I know unconditional acceptance and love, zipo, on an ideal level. As a therapist, I know I give unconditional acceptance to my clients. You can tell me you killed someone today and I will still be able to sit and understand why you killed that person. Lakini on like a normal everyday situation, in normal relationships. So a therapeutic relationship is therapeutic. It's not it's not like your friendships or your romantic relationships. It's different. But what I've come to terms before, I had applied just unconditional acceptance in and outside my therapy space. Lakini, this year taught me that, one, me giving unconditional love and acceptance can come off as not caring. So I've been told that you're cold, and it's like you don't care.
And you're like me,
But
cold.
exactly.
No.
In my head, I'm like, but I was trying to like give you unconditional, like you say you did this that hurt me, and I'm like, okay, what caused you to do that to me? So I would try be objective. Apparently my objectivity in intimate and close relationships comes off as uncaring and cold. So this is the same thing that in therapy works amazingly. You give unconditional acceptance, the client, patient can heal because they're free to be themselves. In the personal relationships, it comes off as Nadia doesn't really care. I can leave today and she'll be fine, which is not the reality.
Yeah.
But that's the realization that I had to swallow. So now, going into 2022, I'm just going to allow myself to be human, if that makes sense. So not a therapist in and out, just a therapist when I am with my clients, my patients, and then with everyone else, I'll just be human. If you piss me off, I will just show you that I'm angry, but empathize more when I get feedback that's negative.
But here's
and
the
not
thing,
expect
though.
unconditional acceptance.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, and I'm thinking here, how hard ni ngumu kiasi gani kwa wewe kuweza kujidistinguish between now I'm Big Nadia for Mind Matters, Nadia the therapist, Nadia the counselor, and right now I'm Big Nadia the sister, Nadia the aunt, you know how Nadia the daughter, how hard is it kuweza kudifferentiate?
It's very hard. One, so I don't sit and analyze them, but the way, so these skills, these empathetic skills, listening skills, etc., these skills, I've made them my way of life. So now they are part of my identity. And when I'm in my role as a sister and aunt, it's really hard to separate because it's part of who I am. So I'm not sitting here analyzing you. Lakini, I respond to you with those skills.
And sometimes that is not what is needed.
It's not what is needed. Yeah. Sometimes people just need me to be the little sister that they saw growing up, running around with her underwear and hair not combed for days. You know, so that's another thing that I had to learn, kwamba some people will still see me the way that they've known me, as the child, the sister, the neighbor, the friend, the lover, the whatever. And they will not see me the way let's say my clients, my peers in the workspace, my colleagues see me as a professional. I've enmeshed the professional me and how she conducts herself, and the personal me have been very similar. So now I have to rework my masks. Have a mask when I am a therapist, and I am a lecturer, and I am doctor out there, researcher or whatever, but wear another mask when I am a partner, when I am a sister, a friend, and just be me.
You know, nakumbuka that big thing you have in your office, like doing the work, the shortcut.
Yes.
I pray, man. I pray you find that, because I can only imagine what you've been through, and that must have been tough.
It's been a crazy year. Yani kila saa, I sit in the office, pale. My colleagues are like, "What is wrong with you? Today your mood is here. Tomorrow you're like there," and I'm like, you know what? Muniache tu.
Can't even talk about it.
I'm like, I'm done. But I'm so grateful that I always manage to. So this is another thing that nimepewa feedback kwamba wewe una bracket. So this is a skill that I've learned. I bracket my problems. It's like nazieka in a box. If I'm going into therapy, my problems sit in a box. You're not those problems. They're not important. And I'm 100% here with you. Sasa, in a friendship or relationship, you are bracketing problems that are supposed to be discussed with this person in front of you.
Yeah.
So you're trying to give your 100%, to someone who actually wants to see your messed up side, which is bracketed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so learning how to unbracket. I mean,
Literally unlearning.
Literally
Oh,
unlearning a
God.
lot of my skills and relearning human skills. Not therapist skills, just learning normal, everyday human being skills.
Yeah. You'll be all right. You'll figure it out.
Yeah. I'm a quick start. I'm a quick learner.
Yeah, and the fact that you know, challenging us here. The fact that you know,
Yes.
nah. But then again, knowing is one thing,
And doing the work is another.
yeah. So we come back to that big thing you have in your office, like doing the work
Is
is the shortcut.
Maybe 2022 December, we can reflect and
We
see
can
if
do
I
the
did the work.
2022 Unfiltered. You can actually say, you know what? I put in some work. I did this shit. Oh,
You know?
man.
I have more feedback that's negative, but it's different.
I hope for the best, man. I hope for the best. We hope for the best. I think for me this year, there's a group katika two parts. I got the first part of the year was crazy.
Yeah.
Between Jan, Feb, March, April, May. I think that part of the year was crazy. The second part, it's been great.
Yeah.
It's been really, really great, the second part of the year. But for starters, so I lost my job in December. I don't know when your contract, working on NGOs and CSO, funds come and go. So I think the project ended, and we are like, this is it.
Yeah.
Now you guys got there and tafuta namna kuishi. So I think I knew about it. I knew about it. It will come to an end. Like you always feel like something else will happen, and then nothing happened. So come imefika December, you're like, guys, this is it, we're done. Bado zenu hizi hapa. All the best. Mungu awabariki. We'll see you when we see you. And that's when it hit me. Come back. Oh shit. You got a wife, 2 kids, mom, nanny, everybody's to look after. What are you gonna do? I mean, did you prepare yourself for this? And for me, I don't think I was prepared kwamba that might happen. Or that was gonna happen sometimes. Kwa sababu nipokuwa nafanya kazi, I've seen it happen so many times kwamba things are always, and you feel like it's always coming to an end and then something happens.
It works out.
So hata mimi nilikuwa nafikiria hivyo. So when it happened, I remember December and me come like, so shit, come January, Michael, what are you gonna do? I mean, you don't have an office to go to. And unaenda kufanya nini? What are you gonna do? What is next for you? So that really, really kind of shocked me.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the worst of the issues that happened to me. Wakati nilikuwa nafikiria what to do na nini kitafanyika, and then my mom got sick when I think she doesn't want to say, but I think it was COVID. Like
it was flu.
It was flu. Thank you. But she got really, really sick.
Yeah.
Now, so my mom anakaa Morogoro, so tukaenda Morogoro kumwangalia. Wakati niko pale, my brother alikuwa ameenda Zambia naye kwenye training, akapata COVID. And it was really, really bad kwake. Like, really, really bad. It was really, really bad to the extent kwamba juzi, it was his birthday, and my sister was like in the family chat, akamwambia, this year, you've tested us. Like, my sister literally said, I didn't know how much I loved you. Paka, whatever happened. And Paka when you really, really got sick. So it was really, really tough. Because sababu ameumwa in a foreign country. Nyempa huku. What do you do? You only nategemea tu tuambie. To the extent kwamba amepelekwa ICU. So we had to send somebody. So tukamtuma my baby brother. He hates it when I call him baby brother. Kwa kweli ni mtu mzima sasa hivi uko zake lecturer kabisa, mtu mzima vile mtu baby brother, but he's my baby brother. Because we had to send him there. So me and my sister got tunahangaika na mama, and mdogo wangu akawa ameenda kule namwangalia na nini. And then wakati niko Morogoro tunahangaika na mama, my wife akaniambia, I think I'm kama naanza kuumwa hivi. So mimi nilikuwa nakaa na my mama, nilikuwa nakaa na my mother-in-law. I think mekaa naye for the past 5-6 years, you know. Great, a great human being. Niliona vizuri sana. Siku ambao my mom got better, tumemtoa Morogoro, tumemleta Dar, sasa hapa endelea na matibabu mengine. Naingia nyumbani, nakutana na my wife and my mother-in-law wanatoka. Kwa naenda hospital, just not feeling good. Kwenda hospital, she got admitted, my wife kwanza. Kama nawe nini? You have the COVID.
Yeah.
You have the flu.
You have the flu.
Yeah, and then she's asthmatic. Kwa hiyo I was like, okay, this person is asthmatic. Na kipindi chetu naambiwa kwamba watu ambao na magonjwa kama hayo inakuwa ni riski kubwa sana. So you have to be careful with that. So mind you, hapa naumwa, mimi I don't have a job, my mother naumwa. My brother yuko zake huko Zambia anatumiwa. And usually so I'm thinking like, Michael, kwa kwenye this kind of situation, your brother is the one who helps you out, who builds you out. Like, what you gotta do now, you really, really have to step up na kuona namna gani, things vita work out. So, and then my wife akapona, and then my mother-in-law akaumwa, and then Mungu akamchukua. Mungu akamchukua my mother-in-law sometimes in February. So I remember my sister amekuja kwenye msiba. She looked at me, akaambia, man, this year, umekuwa. Like, between Jan, Feb, you've grown, like, because your big brother is not here, so you have to step up. Uku, your wife amepoteza mama yake ambaye mlikuwa naye, so you really have to step up na kuona namna gani unaweza kumkuza. Na mind you, tulikuwa tunakaa na mama, so it was a very personal loss for us. Like my firstborn, they had such a strong bond. They had such a strong bond. In my mind, I'm like, what's gonna happen to her? But then, like you always say, kids adapt.
Yeah.
Kids, and I thank God, Achilles are taught, any kids adapt really, really, really fast. Compared to sisi watu wazima ambao tunabaki na maumivu. So we're like, cool, what do you do? In the middle of all that, I'm looking for a job. In the middle of all that, unaomba kazi, unaitwa kwenye interviews, unafanya hivi, sometimes some you get, some you don't. It's so my mind was all over the place. All over the place. So with my mother-in-law, tukaenda kuzika Musoma, na wakati tunaenda kuzika Musoma, tuko Musoma, that's when my brother analand kutoka Zambia. So my brother ameland is like, I haven't seen Michael. Toka nimekuja, because people couldn't tell, because na mama they were close, they were tight. But so I never haven't seen Michael. Where is Michael? Nimerudi, everybody has come to see me. Michael yuko wapi? So my mom had to sit him down. So my mom had to sit him down. I'm going to be, look, man, this is what happened. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I remember this guy just sent me a text saying, man, I feel you. I'm back. I'm here. That's all that he said, man, I feel you. I'm back. I'm here. And I remember na so many text yake, I teardrop kabisa ikatoka nikamwambia, I mean, despite all this is zinazotokea, I'm glad you're home. I really, really am glad that you're home, So it was a crazy year at that point. Now, here's the funny thing now. So when we came back, tumetoka Musoma, tumemaliza msiba, tukawa tumeenda kwenye, and I think I've shared this with you so many times. Tukawa tumeenda kwenye misa ya shukrani. And wakati tupo kwenye ile misa ya shukrani, I remember this priest akawa anahubiri. And he said something that has stuck with me since then. Akawa anasema kwa Kristo, you know the story about Daniel and the lion's den. Ambapo Daniel alitupwa kwenye shimo la simba. And he talked about Jesus Christ before he got crucified. Alikuwa anaongea. Akawa anaambia Mungu, ikiwezekana hichi kikombe cha mateso kiniepuke. But iwe kama unavyotaka wewe. I mean, if you think I should go through it, let me go through it. So this guy said, when Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, the story of mtu aliyekuwa kwenye tanuru la moto, and whatever happened to Jesus Christ, anasema what God did is he did not stop those things from happening. He could have, but he did not stop those things from happening. But what God did is he walked with them through the trials and tribulations ambazo walikuwa wamepitia. And then like I got a light bulb. Boom! I was like, Michael, it could have been worse, but you're still here. It could have been worse, but you're still here. Una akili zako, you have your skills, you have your experience, you have your what. You know what? Something good is going to happen. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Nah, Mungu hajakuacha. He's walking with you through this. And that kind of humbled me. Big time. Na kuanza kuona mimi matatizo yangu sio makubwa kuliko watu wote duniani. 3 days later I got a call. Come, hey man, you applied for this job here. You've got this job. You know? So I remember calling my wife, come, yo, tumepata kazi na nini. She was like, you know what? God is good. God is good. And this is the testimony. Wepo Mungu. And I look at it. So when my previous job ended, tulikuwa tuna kadi ya bima ya afya ambao wanalipiga kwa mwaka. So like you can still have that till around April, whatever. You know, it's okay. And I got another job ambao nilikuwa naweza kuanza on April ambao angekupa another kadi ya bima ya afya. So in my mind I was like, thank God nothing happened kwa watoto, kwa my wife, because like at least on that part I was covered. But I was like, what if none of those things get okay? Yani ingekuwa vipi, you know? So I think when I started a new job, which I think career-wise is I'm the happiest I've ever been, career-wise. Like I'm really, really happy right now. So I think there were a lot of lessons there for me. There were a lot of, because I remember when despite all the things that were happening, I was like, let's just record. I don't know if it was my coping mechanism or what, but the thing we're going to do is okay, Michael, you're out here talking about mental health and men, the podcast and what. Look at you now. You're all messed up, man. You're all messed up. The concept zima ya mganga ajigangi, you know? Concept zima ya mganga ajigangi. I'm like, yeah, you're all messed up now. What you gonna do? Take those lessons now. Apply them in your real life, and some actually worked. Some unagundua kwamba it takes more work or it needs more work, but I'm glad I am where I am right now. Yeah. It has been imekuwa a very big lesson. Like you said, the universe has a way of humbling you.
Big time.
It has a way of humbling you na kufanya uone kwamba you're not all that important.
Yeah, inakukumbusha who's actually in charge.
Exactly.
It's not you.
Exactly. You don't know shit.
You just have to execute.
You just have to execute.
Plan.
Yeah. So it was a tough year, at least the first part.
Yeah.
For me, it was a really, really tough year. It was a really, really tough year. And when I sit down and get out, they're like, why? But you always look like. I was like, what was I supposed to do? Lock myself in and cry every day, you know? And I think for my kid, the first realization that I remember, so my firstborn, she's 5 turning 6 in May next year, 2022. By the time I skid episode, it's 2022. So she's turning 6 in May. So I remember this one day, she woke up, she was like, I don't want to go to school. And I'm like, why? This is the child ambaye anapenda sana michezo. Na kipindi hicho alikuwa just kindergarten too. So ni michezo tu literally. Nikamwambia why? Anambia no, I don't want to go to school. Why? The teacher is being mean. I was like, really? Nikamwambia let's just go. So nimefika hapa na the teacher anambia she's not writing. She used to write. Now she's not writing. She's not speaking. She used to be the loudest in this room. Now she doesn't speak. I'm like, how long has this imetokea kwa muda gani? And it's been like 3 weeks, and that's the time I want to come and put as a BBI, and they were really, really close. So it hit me. So I had to sit down with the teacher and come, look, huyu alikuwa anakaa na BBI. They literally walikuwa na chumba kimoja for the past 4 or 5 years, for the past 3-4 in miaka mingi tu. So right now maybe ndo njia yake kwa just, maybe ndo she's grief. Maybe they'll grief anapitia, or maybe it's a coping mechanism, but this is kitu ambacho kimemtokea, so be patient. So then ikabidi sasa mimi na teacher tutafanya collaboration na kwa tunaongea naye zaidi. You know, like what's the problem? And then she was asking questions like, where is she? Where is she gone? And you know what you tell the kids, you know, she's gone to God. Ameenda kwa Mungu. Is she coming back? No, she's not coming back. So let's just pray for her to remember atakavyokuwa na nini. But I thank God things are better now. Yeah. Things are better now. But it has been a hell of a ride. It has been a hell of a ride.
Proper rodeo.
Yeah?
Like a rodeo.
Like a rodeo, man. Like a rodeo. So yeah, that was my 2021, man. What's for 2022, Nadia?
2022, just living more mindfulness. Less bracketing in personal, for me, in personal spheres, just being raw and unfiltered, but empathetic to people's complaints of me. Like, basically, I just want to be more open to criticism and hearing it from the other person's perspective.
On personal level.
On a personal level.
Mm.
On my professional level, I'm growing. My clients are growing. It's really, from that angle, I'm extremely grateful. Like, if anything has helped me to not burn out this year, ni kwamba I can see that my clients, my patients wanakuja, but they leave my space na faraja. Like, they have hope, they are growing, they have more insights, they're discovering and learning about themselves more, which this is the whole reason why I went into my profession, to see people grow, evolve, be better versions of themselves. So as my personal life took a bit of a back seat, my professional life excelled more. So for next year, I'm hoping for even more of that, but also to be a bit more present and give more of my energy as well to my private relationships. They've really taken an extreme backseat in 2021.
Yeah.
Like neglected.
Yeah. Time to bring them to the front seat.
Time to bring them to the front seat. Yeah. And properly have, because I preach work-life balance. You need to have strong barrier between your work life, your private life. Don't let one take priority over the other, blah, blah, blah. And if I am to be honest, this 2021, my professional life has taken more of a priority than my private life, which is not healthy.
Which is not healthy.
Not at all.
Yeah. I think for me, for next year, at least on a personal level, is being more present to the people that matter. Continue to put my family first.
Yes.
Continue trying to be a great father and a great husband. Continue to unlearn more, relearn, unpack, repack. More understanding kuhusiana na, again, being more empathetic.
Yes.
Kujaribu kuwa binadamu zaidi kwa kuelewa. The biggest lesson I get from doing the podcast is the importance of empathy.
Yes.
And a lot of things later kuwa solved kuwa too empathetic. So for 2022, I hope kuwa empathetic zaidi. Lakini vile, one of the things ambavyo nimegundua I need to do is to draw boundaries.
Yeah.
That's very important. Sometimes we tend to cross the lines, or sometimes we let people cross our lines as well. So maybe despite all that, kujaribu kuchora mipaka. I think that's something I really have to work on, at least on a personal level. Professionally, to continue doing what I do. I love doing kazi ambazo zina impact. And maisha yangu yote, my career life yote imekuwa ni kufanya kazi ambazo zina impact maisha ya watu. My job imekuwa hiyo. So like right now, it's just to keep on growing na kujaribu kuona namna gani tunaweza tukaendelea kufanya impact and tukaendelea ku create more impact kwa watu across the continent. But for the podcast as well now, trying to do something that we haven't done. I know we're going to take a little bit of break, not so long, probably a month or so.
Yes.
So we're going to come back bigger, better,
more energized,
healthier. Improve on sounds, improve on our distribution model, improve on our social media pages, improve on our website, but also doing more things. That's just doing more than just the podcast, So more events.
Yeah, creating more platforms for us to heal collectively. Together.
Yes.
Ubuntu style.
Ubuntu style. You talk your shit, Nadia. Talk your shit. So that's the plan for 2022, and I hope watu ambao we've been down with any tumeshirikiana nao kwa this journey this time, they are going to keep on riding with us, you know, as we try to do other things, to venture into some other things, kujaribu create a community ambayo inaweza kuwa na maongezi mengi zaidi kuhusiana na mental health, sio kwa wanaume tu lakini mental health as a whole na vile vile kuona. If there's one thing I'm happy about is the conversation on mental health on social media for the past 2 years.
Yes.
Especially this year. Yani I've seen the conversation around mental health for men. So I'm like, thank God, tena nazungumzia katika context ya Tanzania.
Yes.
So I know watu wanasema social media is not real life, but I'm like, it's a start.
And even on a physical level, like I've gotten so many people saying hello to me, and kila saa, it catches me off guard because I lecture, right?
Yeah.
I have so many students. So I'm like, fuck. Kwa nini sikukumbuki if you're my student? And then I would ask, and I'm like, no, I'm not your student. I listen to the podcast.
Wow.
And this is men, women, and everyone. So our focus, our target is men.
Yeah.
But even women are listening, and the feedback I've been getting is kwamba it's really amazing to get to understand what's happening in a man's head. You know, the experiences ambazo wanaume wanapitia. Pia inamsaidia mwanamke ku-empathize. So, because we started this kwa sababu men don't really talk much about the things that they're going through. So with the podcast, it's making people realize kwamba just because hatuongelei changamoto tunazozipitia, does not mean kwamba hatupitii changamoto zozote.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so it's gotten to help a lot of people better understand, and I think have more empathy, have more compassion towards one another. And so nadhani, like, not just men, but women too have grown through listening to these episodes and all the gems and all the nuggets of wealth that our guests bring. And
you'll be surprised. I know women ambao wamesikiza from episode 1 to episode number 49. I hope they get to listen to this too. But I know, and I know for a fact watu ambao wamesikiliza episode number 1 to episode number 49. So shout out to wote ambao mmekuwa na sisi kwenye hii journey. We just hope to keep kuendelea kuimprove zaidi na zaidi.
The journey never ends. Growth is constant. Kila siku tunakuwa, tuna-evolve, unajifunza kitu kipya about yourself, about your environment, about the people around you. Now, when we stop growing, then we're dead. We stop living. So I'm 100% confident that we're going to continue to grow together, learn together, be better for one another, for ourselves. Yes, continue with us so we can continue to grow. Like, I love this collective growth. Imagine Ubuntu. All of us are in a good mental health space, well-being space. We're all having positive, good, enriching relationships. Imagine tutakuwa wapi as a nation even in the years to come.
Inshallah.
If we're not sabotaging one another, we're not sabotaging ourselves because of the things we are not conscious about. We will evolve at a faster rate, I believe.
So you've heard, umesikia kutoka kwa Nadia mwenyewe. I don't have anything else to add, man. I've said thank you guys a million times already. Just keep on subscribing, keep on sharing, keep on endelea kuturate popote pale unapotusikiliza. Remember, Apple Podcast, Boomplay, Spotify, Audiomack, Google Podcast, na sehemu nyingine kibao ambapo unaweza kusikiliza your podcast, then you can definitely catch Man the Podcast. Man the Podcast, you know? So Nadia, thank you for keep being great, kwa kuendelea kutubariki na your presence.
Thank you for always motivating me to wake up in the morning.
There are moments.
Record our podcast.
I know. There is a day about we were to record. Imefika simu just like, oh my God, I forgot. I was like, really? I've had a long day. Can you push it back a kesho? I was like, I get it. You must have been, it happens,
it
guys.
Happens to the best of us.
It happens to the best of us. There are moments when I'm like, God, my mind is not there, but you're like, you
just show up.
Yes, it's so important.
Just have to show up.
You show up always. I mean, I'm like, consistency is everything, man. You show up, you do the work, and then results zitaonekana tu kombe. So thank you for consistently listening to maneno yetu mundani. You know, actually we are recording this this last episode at this space on Sandbox. Sandbox is a really, really nice place. I mean, gotta give them a shout out. So if you want to do a podcast, now you want to start your own podcast, you don't have equipment, you don't have space to record it, just come to Sandbox. Walk up Regent Business Park building, Yuma Shoppers, you know. Mikocheni, yeah. They have their Twitter handle, Nitafute Ntakupa, if you really want to do it. We'll tag it. Yeah, or we'll tag it. Pia, shout out to them for letting us use this space to record this. So if you want to do your own podcast, you're a podcast enthusiast. I know a lot of people come to my DM like, we want to start a podcast, we don't have equipment, we don't have recording space. Guys, they have a space here. All you got to do is show up, know what you're talking about. Ongea nao na kujua namna gani unaweza ukarecord. And shout out to Modest, man, for our sound man for today. Yes. Modest Mpeka. Shout out. Lastly, shout out to you ambaye umetusikiliza. We appreciate you. We want to wish you a happy 2022. Like Nadia said, let's keep on growing together. Let's keep on being better, but most important, let's keep on being there for each other. Yeah. Now, empathy, man. Empathy.
And not just for other people. Inabidi muda mwingine pia we empathize with ourselves.
Yeah.
So that's the mistake I did this past year. I've been empathizing hardcore with myself and with other people in, you know, in my professional life.
Yeah.
And ikawasahau my private life. So it's for some to like remember to empathize na wewe pia. Like sometimes people won't understand you. You need to first get into your own shoes and say, this is how I'm feeling though. So hata kama nyinyi munielewi, but this is my experience.
This is my experience.
You know, sometimes that's the boundary as well. Kwamba muda mwingine ndio like mimi nimepata feedback ndio za ukweli. I will not reject them. Some of them I will be like, but muda mwingine you get people who just don't get you.
Yeah.
And they have feedback that really is not necessary perhaps or appropriate for that situation that you're in. So just taking that in and embodying it becomes detrimental for your mental health. So you need to also take a step back, empathize with yourself first, kuangalia kwamba, okay, is this actually ringing true to me as well? What I'm going through and how I'm feeling, is it, you know, unfounded? Is it disproportionate? Ukiona it's proportionate, then empathize with the other person why they felt that maybe your reaction is extreme. And then move on. That's the boundary. You empathize with yourself, have the space, empathize with other people, and then make a rational decision.
There you go. Guys, happy 2022.
Yes.
Mbarikiwe mpaka mshangae.
Yes.
See you on the other side.
Keep supporting us.
Keep supporting us.
And one another.
And one another.
And let's all grow.
And let's all grow. Yeah. Mimi naitwa Michael Baruti. Nadia was here. Remember, kama unataka kumfuata na unataka kuongea naye ni @mindmatterstz on Twitter and @mindmatterstz on Instagram. There's a link kwenye bio yake that will take you directly kwenye website yake, and then kuna namna kibao za kuweza kuwasiliana naye. For us ni wengine ni our Twitter page is @menthepodcast. Na Instagram is @menthepodcast. Na Facebook pia ni @menthepodcast. Endelea kwenye hizo pages, we keep tutaendelea kutoa different updates. Lakini pia check out our website, menthepodcast.com. Yeah.
All the episodes are there.
All the episodes are there, man. So yeah, till next time, guys. See you in a bit.
Men, the podcast.